Hey everybody, welcome to Shooting Star. Great to have you join us here today, and we're very excited to present two student videos to start out our Shooting Star video today. So let's check them out.
And welcome back to episode 4 of Like a Ninja Warrior. As you know, we have a new course for this episode. There's the buzzer. And here comes our first competitor. He's actually the king. Don't know where though. And he got through the twisty brick steps, and now he is just flying through these. Well, kind of. And takes a bit of time, and then, ooh, this is our new obstacle. Oh, falls down into the water. Next competitor. She looks quite strong. Oh, she has just fallen into the water. Next competitor. He is a professional race car driver. He's doing pretty great. Whoa, just going super fast through those. Let's see if he can make it through this obstacle. That was perfect, and he just throws that rod away. Perfect! Presses that buzzer. Next, he likes to dress up as, oh, well, here are our competitors from winners from each of the 4 episodes. Next episode will be a finale.
Oh, those were great. We've been having a really great time watching Leah do her Lego Ninja Warrior segment. I believe that was the last one in her series. So thank you, Leah, for that creativity. And then we've also been having a great time watching everyone complete your blue bando squares. And probably our favorite one is the one where you play someplace strange. And I want to thank Erin for agreeing to let us have that be part of our video. If anyone else wants us to include your performance in a strange place or any of your Bando Blue Square performances on a future Shooting Star video, just let us know and we'll get them on here for you. So I was thinking today about all of the stuff that we have going on, and I actually just got an email from, I've actually gotten a few emails from students who are like, can you just like sum up what we need to do for band, because there's just a lot of stuff now on Google Classroom and there's a lot of information, and I just want to know what I have to do for band. What's the formatives? What are the summatives? What do we need to do? So I'm going to go through that with you just to start out with today, and then I'm going to just kind of do kind of a rundown of the many different things that are still happening and opportunities that you have. So I'm going to try to go through a lot of those things, and I probably won't get to everything, but I don't want to overwhelm you, but I probably will overwhelm you. And then at the end of this video, there's going to be a jazz band video, and those of you taking improvisation lessons, and I'm going to be doing some jazz stuff, which I usually do every Thursday. And I should let you know too that starting tomorrow, if you're watching this on Thursday, starting on Friday, April 17th, we're going to start doing kind of a bonus Shooting Star video. It'll be for those of you who do bonus lessons on Fridays typically, and we're going to do a guitar, piano, bass guitar, maybe drum set, and songwriting lesson, bonus lessons that you can check out. And we won't be doing anything else on those Shooting Star videos other than doing those bonus lessons. So we're going to call it the bonus Shooting Star unless we come up with a better name. So, all right, so here are your assignments for the first 3 weeks. I'm going to sum it up as quickly as I can. So if you are in 6th grade, your assignment the first week was to write an 8-measure song on note flight. Your assignment in week 2 for 6th grade was to record 2 band songs and 2 solos out of your maroon book and submit those to us. And then your assignment for week 3 was to do 2 of the blue squares on the bando card, and then do a little research project on one of your band songs for Band And, which is due tomorrow. So that's for 6th grade. For 7th and 8th grade, your assignments in week 1 were to do 2 band songs and 2 solos out of your solo book and submit those into Distance Learning Week 1 on Google Classroom. Your assignment for week 2 was to do a very similar thing, do 2 band songs, but try to play it along with smart music or a YouTube recording of the band song. And then the one solo that we've decided that you're going to do for your playing test in May, and then submit those. And then also between week 1 and week 2 for 7th and 8th grade, you also had to submit your composition. For 7th grade, that was on Note Flight, for 8th grade on Soundtrap. And then for week 3, you also are doing the Bando cards, where you do 2 blue squares of your choice and submit those by Thursday. And then also research one of your band songs of your choice and turn that in on Friday. So there you go. That's the brief description of what you need to do. And if you have further questions, please let me know. There's a lot of other things that go into that description, like some of the technology you can use, what songs can I do, what would be a good solo choice for me, compositions, what do I do to get an A. So there's a lot of other little details in there, so feel free to email us or text us and ask us if you have questions. Okay, so here's what else is going on. There's just tons of things. Every Wednesday and Thursday we're doing Google Meet sessions during your regular block band time, and you can check out Google Classroom every week, and I have those times and the link and how to get onto Google Meet. And we've had 2 great weeks of Google Meet sessions, and we'd love to have you join us. We just go through some details of what's going on, but more importantly, we get to see each other and ask questions about life. So it's a great time. They're optional. These shooting star videos come out every Monday and Thursday, and like I said, starting tomorrow, we'll do a bonus shooting star on Fridays for bonus lessons. I'm also doing an Instagram Live every day, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. at CMSW Music that you can join me on. We also have a school website. If you go to the district or go to the Middle School West website, cmsw.district112.org, you can follow the links to Ms. Zeidel's and my page, and we have all the information of things going on that website too, if you like to see things written down for you. You can also sign up for Remind, where you get texts. I'm usually sending out a text once a day on what's happening, about the assignments and other things going on. And you can sign up for Remind by going onto your Messenger app, your texting app, and type in the number 81010. That's the number you're sending it to. And the message is @ 19 band 6 if you're in 6th grade, @ 19 band 7 if you're in 7th grade, or @ 19 band 8 if you're in 8th grade. You can also go to Google Classroom, and we're constantly updating Google Classroom. There's a lot of information on there right now, but if you're looking for stuff, you can check that out, and that's a great resource too. If you do social media, again, @ CMSW Music is a great place to go to. If you do Twitter, CMSW Band, there's a lot of information. If you're on Facebook, Chaska Middle School West Music is where we're at. And then Ms. Zeidel and I also have personal Instagrams that you're more than welcome to follow as well. Solo Ensemble is this Saturday. We're not doing it in person, of course, but it's a virtual solo ensemble. If you would like to record your solo, preferably by video, and before you play your song, say who you are and what song you're playing. And if you submit those on Google Classroom where it says Solo Ensemble optional submissions, we'll get those to an adjudicator, and they will get you a rating and some feedback, and you can win a certificate and or a medal depending on how well you do. And that will take the place of your playing test at the end of the year. Everybody in grade 6 through 8 are going to have a summative at the end of the school year where you do a solo out of your solo book. And so you're all going to have to do that. But if you're ready to do it and you would like to see how you do and win an award, you can submit it to us by this Saturday. And you can then skip doing the playing test at the end of the year. There's no cost for that, by the way. There is cost for these next 2 opportunities I'm going to bring up. So we are living in a time when a lot of professional musicians are out of work. There's no concerts or festivals or shows going on right now. So a lot of professional musicians are reaching out to parents and teachers and saying, hey, if you have students that would like to take lessons from us, we would love to do some online lessons with your child. So you can get online lessons from some really good teachers right now. So let me know if you're interested, and I'll get you a list of people that are on that instrument that your child plays that you can reach out to, and you can contact them and see what the cost is and what their personalities are like and what's a good match for your child. And then also there's a music studio here in Chanhassen called McPhail, MACPHAIL. And if you go to mcphail.org, you can look up under their community resources for K-12. They have online masterclasses going on every weekday. They're usually half-hour sessions for pretty much every instrument in the band, as well as the orchestra, vocal lessons, piano, guitar. different styles of music from rock to hip hop to beatboxing. So they have a lot of really cool opportunities that you can sign up for, and you can just sign up for half-hour sessions that work for your schedule and for what you're interested in. For those of you in 8th grade who want to audition for the top band at the high school, those auditions are due soon. If you're going to Chan High School, they're due Friday, April 24th. And if you're going to Chaska High School, they're due Thursday, April 30th. And those auditions can be sent to either Ms. Idell or me, or right to the high school band directors, Mr. Swanson or Mr. Beckler. And all the audition information is on Google Classroom. It tells you what you need to play, when to turn it in. But if you have any questions about any of those things, feel free to reach out. There's also a national songwriting competition that's due soon for anyone who's interested in writing music. There's 2 different ones. There's an electronic songwriting competition where you create music on a digital audio workstation like GarageBand, Soundtrap, Logic, those kinds of programs for people who like writing electronic music. That's due on May 1st. And then there's an kind of more of a pop, country, rock songwriting competition where they're literally just looking for what lyrics and chords you have written. And they're not looking for a well-produced recording of it. In fact, they want you just to record it on your phone or your computer, just you singing and playing guitar, ukulele, or piano, and performing your song. They're more into how the actual song is rather than the actual quality of the performance. And that's due on May 15th. Both of those cost $40 to enter, and there are cash prizes that you can win. And if you want more information on those, again, just let me know soon so I can get you that information so you can enter that. For those of you in Wind Ensemble, I've been slowly presenting to you a recording opportunity where you can all record one of your songs one at a time at home using Soundtrap. And we can make an actual song out of it, an actual recording with all of you where it sounds like you're all playing at the same time. And as you do it, you can take another device and film yourself performing. So we can make a music video out of it where we can split the screen, where we can see each person in the group actually making their recording. So that's super sweet. Some of the WIN groups I've gotten that out to. Some groups are almost done. Some groups have barely started or are in the middle of the process. Other of the WIN ensembles I just haven't gotten to you yet. I will be. It's kind of a big process for me on my end as well. So I'm kind of presenting it to 1 or 2 groups a week. So, and we have 15 WIN ensembles. So some of you I might not get to until the first couple weeks of May, but I will get to you and we'll get those in by the end of the year. Rhythm section, same thing. We're going to try to do at least one of your songs. Right now we're doing Everlong, and you guys are working on that as well. Our after-school groups, if you are in either jazz band or mariachi band, at the end of each shooting star once a week, mariachi on Mondays, jazz band on Thursdays, I have a little session for you where you can watch and learn either some of your mariachi tunes or in jazz band's case, some improvisation skills. If you are in pop ensemble, I'm going to be rolling out some stuff tomorrow, so be looking for that. And if you are in the honor band, we sent out a Google Classroom code for you where you can access the honor band music and you can start practicing that. Now, if we by chance end up going back to school, we will have mariachi, honor, and pop bands all start back up when we get back into school and still plan to have a performance right at the end of the school year. And the jazz band will probably do one more rehearsal because we only had one more left. And we would do it during WIN time and then do a YouTube live concert that would also be recorded for people to watch if they can't watch it at the live time. If we end up not going back to school, we will offer money back for those courses. Not jazz band. Jazz band was almost over. But the other courses, we will offer a full refund of your course. Bonus lessons. I already addressed that. We'll do a bonus shooting star lesson at the end on Friday. So at the end of the week, we'll do that for everyone who is doing production or we're doing guitar, piano, bass, maybe drum set and songwriting. If you're doing jazz improv, just watch the jazz band one I'm doing at the end of this shooting star video. That will always be on Thursdays. Okay. If you have questions about technology, there's different technology. We've been using 3 music apps, Smart Music, Noteflight, and Soundtrap. There is a Google Doc on Google Classroom called Technology Setup and Basic Usage Directions. And you can open up that Google Doc and get directions on how to access all 3 of those programs and then some basic directions on how to use them. And if you have any questions on those apps, please let me know, and I will definitely help you with that. If you can't find that Google Doc, let me know and I'll send it to you. I'm also happy to do some videos, some screenshot videos to help you through using those programs. Mattress sale was canceled, and you can do an online order if you want to get a mattress and still support our music program. I sent an email out about that 2 weeks ago, and I'm going to send another one out soon, so you have the link. So check your email. It's also on our CMSW website, CMSW Band website, so you can see where to order mattresses. And that mattress sale will extend to the end of the school year online. You can order mattresses. They do have refund policies. If you get one and you try it for, I forget what it is, 60 days, and you don't like it, up to 60 days, you can return it. And you can also, when you order, write down which student should get part of the fundraising money, because this is a fundraiser for future trips for our band program. And if your child's going to go on the 8th grade band trip to, this year we are going to go to Wisconsin Dells, you can get part of the cost of your trip deducted if you get a mattress. Once again, if you want to film a fun video for us, we'd love to see it. You can send us a video and we will put it at the beginning of our Shooting Star video every Monday and Thursday. So just let us know. There's a place you can submit it on Google Classroom called Optional Video Submissions. So that's a great place to put it. Or you can just let us know. Like I said, if you do one of your videos for a Bando Square and you're like, hey, could you put this on Shooting Star too? We'll definitely do that for you. If you have any questions about band registration for next year, of course that's closed, but if you are like thinking you want to be in band and you didn't sign up for it, let us know. I'm also contacting a lot of 8th graders who are maybe confused about the schedule next year for high school or how band works, and just making sure that we made a good decision, and maybe in some cases trying to convince you maybe you should give it a shot. Keep in mind, 8th graders, you have to take one fine arts credit in high school. And what better way to do it than just taking band, something you're used to, something you're good at, something where you have a lot of friends doing it. And I think you'd really enjoy the band experience, and you'd wipe out that fine arts credit by doing it. Summer classes. Number one, we are still planning on offering summer music classes, but I wouldn't sign up for them for right now because I think we're going to move the dates of them. Right now we have them starting the first week of June, or summer break, which is the second week of June, and going until the end of July. We haven't made a decision on exactly when those are going to be, but I can almost guarantee you they will not be starting the first week of summer break. The summer classes include jazz band, movie band, marching band, ukulele, guitar, music technology, country band, and garage band. And so we will let you know more information when we know. One of the events that these groups usually perform at, called River City Days in Chaska, has been rescheduled. I should say postponed to a date yet to be announced, although they said it will probably be in the fall. So probably when school has already started up again in the fall. So we're still trying to figure out how that's all going to work. So just a heads up on that. And I've actually been giving some thought to next school year too, and how that might look if we're still doing some form of distance learning or smaller classes. So believe me, we're all giving thought to this as teachers. So nothing, well, I shouldn't say nothing, but we're trying not to let anything slip through the cracks right now. I have two more things. Second to last thing are canceled events, postponed events. And I got this long list sitting here in front of me that I'm looking at. If you have any questions about events that have been canceled or postponed, let us know. In most cases, these are not happening this spring. In some cases, there's just no way of rescheduling them. In other cases, we are trying our best to see if maybe we could have them happen in the fall. For example, the 6th and 7th grade tours that were supposed to occur here in the spring. The 6th grade trip, we just barely missed. That was the last day of school that we were supposed to have that tour. There's a chance we could look into rescheduling those for the fall, for next school year, for those kids who are still participating in band next year. So that is one thing we've looked into. We're looking into last day of school. How can we maybe make that happen, not just for the band kids, but for all the kids, and give them some opportunity to have some closure, especially our 8th graders. So there's a lot of things we're still looking into. Evening with the Stars, we're looking into doing a virtual Evening with the Stars with these wind ensemble videos we're making, rhythm section video. So we're still looking into doing some kind of way of doing that. And the last event I just want to mention is our spring concert, which will probably not happen. We haven't officially canceled that one, but it's supposed to be May 12th, and the chances of that are slim. So we are looking into possibly having a spring band concert in a very creative way. We're working on details of that right now, and we will roll that out once we, if slash once we officially announce that the band concert has been canceled. Last thing I just want to say, I wanted to say a big thank you to all the students for all your hard work making this happen. This is really hard on a number of levels. I know there are many of you that have been struggling getting stuff in and have been struggling playing by yourself, because that's hard, and sometimes it feels embarrassing and it's frustrating. You're not used to practicing at home, many of you, I know that. And you're used to playing where there's a lot of people around you who know what they're doing, and that helps you play better. And when those people aren't around you, it can be really hard to play and frustrating. I get it. I totally get that. And those of you who are struggling with other things in your situations, whether it's things going on in your household, things going on with finances, with health, things going on with taking care of your siblings, your pets, people who don't live in your household that you're worried about, job losses, people who are working in the medical field, grocery stores, first responders, daycare providers, all those people who are really out on the front line right now. There are so many things going on that cause depression, anxiety, fear, that just does not make the brain work well when we're trying to do schoolwork. So just please know that I know there's a lot of things going on, and I've heard about a lot of things, and I know a lot of you are struggling right now, and some of you struggling on a very large scale. And my heart goes out to consider yourself getting a virtual hug right now, and know that there are people who care about you. So please, please, please know that we are going to be understanding. The one thing that we ask for, if at all possible, is communication. Please communicate. If you're struggling, please just drop us an email or a text or a phone call saying, I am struggling right now. You don't even have to go into details about what it is. We just want to know that you're okay, that you understand that you should be doing some things, or maybe you don't understand that you should be doing some things and you need clarification. We just want communication, if that's possible. All right? Okay. That was a lot of stuff. And now I understand why some people are like, Mr. Songer, I am so confused. Can you just break it down? So watch this video again if you need to. Go back to the very beginning after those couple really fun student videos and go through the very brief description I gave about what has to be in. And then you can check out all these other things and review some of the things I talked about, or jot things down so you know what to email me about or text me about and ask me about what's going on. And Ms. Idell's here for you too, so feel free to contact either one of us. We're pretty good at getting back to you within 24 hours. We're not pretty good at grading things within 24 hours, but our main concern is getting back to people. So be patient with the grades, but if hopefully we're getting back to you as soon as we can. All right, I'm going to move on. It's time for a jazz video, and for those of you in jazz band or jazz improvisation lessons, stay tuned for that here in just a few seconds. Otherwise, thank you for watching, and join me again for the bonus shooting star tomorrow, Friday, or the next shooting star next Monday. All right, we're going to go on to the jazz band / jazz improvisation segment of our video today. And today I want to talk a little bit about chord progressions in jazz music, and actually in any kind of music, but we're going to, of course, focus on jazz. So the chord progression, what that means is when you are playing in a band, there's usually a piano player and sometimes a guitar player and a bass player. And they are playing what are called chords. Well, not necessarily the bass player. The bass player is just playing the bottom note of the chord, but the piano and guitar players are playing chords. And a chord, again, means that you're playing two or more notes at the same time, okay? And the most, a chord progression is when we have a series of chords in a row, which is in any song. You're going to have this chord, and then the piano or guitar player play the next chord, and then the next chord. And we call that a chord progression. Well, there are certain chord progressions that are very common in music. In fact, there are thousands of songs that all have the same chord progression. And then there's more thousands of songs that have this chord progression. So chord progressions sometimes are very similar from song to song. One of the most common chord progressions in the history of music is called the blues. Okay? And I'm going to teach you a blues chord progression today. And we're going to do a little bit of playing along with it after I show you what it is. A blues is 12 measures long, which means that in each of those 12 measures, there's going to be a chord played. Okay? So I'm going to give you a 12 measure blues chord progression today. All right? So the first thing I want to do is I just want to play the chord progression for you so you can hear it. And I hope you can hear. I'm sure the quality isn't great on this old stereo of mine being picked up by the computer microphone, but we'll check it out anyway.
1, 2, 1, 2.
So here it is. Measure 1, 2, 3, 4. Measure 5. Measure 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then what happens is it repeats the same chord progression. There's measure 2 again, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then it repeats it again. And in a blues, usually it just keeps repeating those same 12 measures over and over again. To which you might think, well, that's a really boring song. Well, that would be probably true if that's all that was happening. Now, granted, the bass, piano, and drummer are all doing some different things through there to make it a little more interesting. But usually over the top of that, we have somebody improvising. That's where you all come in. Or somebody's playing the melody, or somebody's singing, or something like that. Okay? So that's what a blues is. It's the same 12 measures over and over again. So let's learn about what those 12 measures are. Now, you might think at first, wow, 12 different chords, that sounds really hard. Well, actually, in a blues, there's only 3 chords. And those 3 chords happen multiple times during the blues, okay? So I'm going to teach you what the chords are. I'm going to start with the low brass, the piano, guitar, bass, and the flutes. And I'm going to teach you what your notes are. And as you're listening to me say this, if you have a pen and paper, I want you to write down the order, okay? So that when we actually play this, you can remember it. Because you're probably not going to remember it just from me telling you once. After I do the low brass, piano, bass, guitar, flute, then I'm going to do it for all of the tenor sax, clarinet, trumpet, bass clarinet. And then I'm going to do it for the alto sax and bari sax. And then I'm going to do it for the French horn, okay? So if you want to skip ahead in the video, each one of these will take about a minute, a little over a minute probably to do. So right now, wherever we are on the video, if you're playing trumpet, clarinet, bass clarinet, tenor sax, skip ahead a little more than a minute. If you play alto bari sax, skip ahead a little more than 2 minutes. And if you play French horn, skip ahead a little more than 3 minutes. And then about 4.5 minutes from now, we'll bring you all together. Okay, so here we go. This is for the low brass, rhythm section, and flutes. And again, you might want to write these down.
1, 2, 1.
So we're going to start with B flat. And again, we're going to do B flat 4 times. Then E flat twice. Back to B flat twice. Then here comes F just once. E flat once. B flat once. F once. Okay. And if you need to hear any of that again, obviously just go back about 45 seconds and just watch it again and write those down, okay? And then here in just a little bit, we're going to play through all of that. But let's move on. This is the part now for the tenor sax, the trumpet, the clarinet, the bass clarinet. Get your pens and paper ready, those people. And here we go with your 12 measures. And you will start
1,
on a C.
2, 1, 2, 3.
C. C again. You're going to do C 4 times. Then you're going to go to F twice. And back to C. Then you're going to go to G once, F once, C once, and then G once. And there's your 12 measures for the trumpets, tenor sax, clarinet, bass clarinet. And again, if you need to re-listen to that, just go back about 45 seconds, re-listen to that, okay, get that all written down. And then here in a couple minutes in the video, I'm going to bring us all together and we're actually going to try to play that. Sweet. Okay, now we're moving on to the alto sax and the bari sax. So here are your 12 measures. Hopefully you got your pen and paper, pencil and paper, and you're ready to write this down. You're going to start with a G.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
You're going to do G 4 times. And then you're going to do C twice. And then back to G twice. Then D once, C once, G once, and then D once. And that takes you to 12. So again, if you didn't get all those, go back about 45 seconds and re-listen to that and write those down so you remember them, okay? All right, the last group are the French horns. French horns, here come your 12 measures. You are going to start on F as your first chord, and you're going to do F 4 times.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Here comes B flat twice, B flat twice, back to F twice, and then C once, B flat once, F once, and then C once. And that's the 12 measures for French horn. Now, if you didn't get all that, go back in the video about 45 seconds, re-listen to it, jot all that down. Okay. So here comes the point where we bring you all back together, and hopefully you've written down your 12 measures and your chord progression, okay? Now, on the instruments I just said, for the exception of piano and guitar, you can't play a chord on your instrument. You can only play one note at a time. Well, you can play a chord on the bass, but you don't usually. So what we're going to do is instead of playing a chord, in piano and guitar, you can do this too, or you can play the whole chord. It's up to you. We're just going to play that note I gave you. So if I said B flat, play a B flat. If I said C, play a C. If I said G, play a G. And I don't care if you play it up in the high octave or down in the low octave. That's totally up to you, okay? And what we're going to do is we are going to play that note in each measure for 4 beats. We're going to play a whole note. So for example, you all started with the same chord 4 times in a row. I'm playing the trombone, so that note for us was B flat. So I'm going to go like this. I'm going to play it 4 times like that. And then I go to the next note, which for the low brass is an E flat. And I play that twice. But every time for each letter I wrote down, I'm going to play a whole note for 4 beats. Okay? So we're going to try this all together with the backtrack again. And good luck to you.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Next chord. Do it again, beginning. 5th measure. Do Sweet. Now, we're going to do one more thing with this, and then I'm going to give you a quick little theory lesson, then we'll be done with our jazz improv for the day. The next thing we're going to do is, instead of just playing a whole note on each one of those notes or chords, we're going to play some different rhythms. And I'm going to recommend that you just stay on that note, but if you really want to get courageous, you can start doing some different notes as long as you come back to that note at the beginning of each measure. In fact, we'll do this. We'll do it one time through with me playing just that note. And the second time through, I'll get a little more courageous, but I'm always going to start each measure on that note. And then I'm going to let it go a couple more times so that you can practice just listening to the chords without me doing anything. Okay? All right, so here we go. I would just suggest listening to me these first 2 times and then take the next 2 times to try it on your own.
One, two, 1, 2, 3.
Second time. Now I go to the 5th measure. Your turn. Try to just stay on the first note. Here comes the 5th measure, the next chord. Back to the first chord. Here's the 9th measure. Boom. And boom. And boom. And boom. Beginning. First chord now. Now if you want to change notes a little bit, go for it. 5th measure now. Back to the first chord. 9th measure. Boom. 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 Cool. I hope that made sense. Now, if you want to go back and in the video, go back about a couple minutes and retry that again, feel free. Do it as many times as you want. That's super cool. All right. Now, here's the next deal. One more quick theory lesson and then we're done. Those 3 chords, doesn't matter what instrument you play in, don't not only have a letter name, their note name, they have a number name too, okay? That first chord for all of you, we call that the 1 chord, okay? That's the 1 chord. And in the blues, the 1 chord lasts for 4 measures. So for all of you that I taught, regardless of your instrument, that first chord lasted 4 measures. We call it the 1 chord. And what's convenient about calling it the 1 chord is I don't have to sit here and say, okay, low brass rhythm section, flute, B flat, trumpet, clarinet, tenor sax, C, alto, bass sax, G, French horn, F. Oh, now it changed. Okay, next chord is F. It's just way too complex, and I'd confuse the heck out of all of you. So if I just say 1 chord, go, and you remember that whatever the first chord is I gave for your instrument is the 1 chord, you're like, oh, sweet, 1 chord. The next chord that I gave you is called the 4 chord. And here's why it's called the 4 chord. Think about what letter I just gave you. Now go up 3 letters in the alphabet. So basically, from the first letter I gave you, then to the 4th letter. That's why we call it the 4th chord. 4 chord, sorry. So again, in other words, if you play trumpet, clarinet, tenor sax, I gave you a C, and then you go C, D, E, F. F is the 4th letter then after C. Okay, that's why we call it the 4 chord. You could also count the lines and spaces on the staff. That's why we also call it the 4 chord, okay? That other chord I gave you that happens in the 9th measure and the last measure is called the 5 chord. Because once again, it's now 5 letters up in the alphabet from that first one. So the 1, 4, and 5 chords. So for all of you, the blues form is the 1 chord for 4 measures, the 4 chord for 2 measures, back to the 1 chord for 2 measures, then the 5 chord for a measure, the 4 chord for a measure, the 1 chord for a measure, and the 5 chord for a measure. That's what it is for every single one of you. And that's called a blues chord progression. And that's your music theory lesson for the day. Try your best. If you want to get really good at improvising, try your best to memorize that chord progression. That's your assignment. Try to memorize it. And then do what we just did and try to play just that note. Maybe change the rhythm up a little bit to make it a little more interesting than just a whole note each time. And then start adding notes. That step of adding notes is where you get into the true improvisation. Okay. All right. We're going to review this again next week and take it to another level. So be looking for that next Thursday. Looking forward to it. Have a great day, everybody.